Joined by head coach James Franklin to preview the Illinois game. Coach, obviously it's probably a simple answer to this question, but when you have offense,
hold
defense.
Hold on a second. Before we get into the business, let's start with a little personal. It's your birthday today, correct?
It is.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you very much.
Now
Thank you. Okay. When you have offense, defense, and special teams come together, play well in one game like the units did on Saturday, how does that help the team in simple terms?
Well, I think it's great because that's who we want to be. You see a lot of teams across the country that may be doing wonderful things on offense or wonderful things on defense or special teams, but what you're always trying to do is you're trying to get all three phases to play well together each week and play well for a season. And that's the hard part, getting it to time up right through recruiting and through development.
When you watch the film of the offense, where did the offensive line really take a step forward on Saturday? Obviously, having Miles in there for quite a bit and Donovan back was big, but where did you see him step up?
Well, I think when you watch the game, while it was going on, or you go back and watch it on video, the offense really was moving the ball, running game, passing game, protecting well. The obvious issue is the penalties and the turnovers. We got to eliminate those two things. You take the holding down in the low red zone that took a touchdown off the board, and you take the turnovers away, then I think people would be pretty excited with the step that we took, and I think we still are. But having those two guys back is dramatic just because of their experience. Their size, their footwork, technique, fundamentals, the whole deal.
You've had 9 true freshmen play this year. What can you say about their productivity on the field and how they've really helped offense, defense, and special teams?
I think it's been huge. I think when you think about on offense, you got Jasicki's been really steady all year long as a true freshman. You look at Saeed and you look at Godwin and what they've been able to do. They've had a bunch of reps, those guys. You think about on the defensive side of the ball, Christian Campbell's been making plays all year long, and now to have his first interception. Now you got Grant Haley getting his first interception. And then, on top of that, he decides to take it back for a touchdown. Awesome, we'll take that. Cabinda's been playing well. Now Apke is able to get in the game as well. Daniel Pasquarella, I thought, punted much better, which was a big factor in the game as well. Did I hit everybody, I think?
Apke, did you touch
him? Yeah, I hit about Apke too. So, yeah, those guys are having a dramatic impact. We're excited about them.
When you look at Illinois on film, Wes Lunt obviously back. He missed some time at quarterback. What does he do well as a player?
Well, we've known Wes for a long time. We've recruited him. He can get the ball out of his hand quickly. He makes great decisions with the ball. He's in the offense, I think, that suits him and fits him extremely well. Him being out for a couple weeks obviously has had an impact on him personally as well as the team overall. But he's a big, strong, successful. He's a winner. He's a winner in high school. He's been a winner his entire career. So it's going to be a challenge.
One thing Mike Hull was talking about this morning was the fact that they like to run a lot of formations. What challenges does that present as a defense?
Yeah, there are multiple formation and there are multiple personnel groups. A lot of people that go no huddle stay in one personnel group and just try to tempo you. These guys do a lot of different formations and personnel groups. So that's always a challenge because you got to have a plan for each one and what they're trying to do and what their tendencies are and then what you're trying to take away. When it's the same personnel group, it's really just a scheme you're trying to defeat. When it's scheme and personnel, you got to have an awareness of both.
On the defensive side of the ball, Mason Monheim, the linebacker for them, very productive, ranked second in the Big Ten in tackles behind Mike Hull. What do you see from that group?
I think they're playing hard. I've known their defensive coordinator for years. We were on the same staff together at the University of Maryland. Tim Banks think he does a great job. Their linebacker coach, Al Simonson, their O-line coach, Tom Bratton, a bunch of guys there. We all worked together for a long time. So the defense plays hard. The linebacker obviously is a really, really good player and has been very effective for them. Obviously we're going to be on the road, so you're going to have to deal with that as an offense as well. And I think they're leading the conference in most defensive touchdowns at 3.
What are your keys to going 1-0 this week?
Well, we've been winning the penalty battle. We've really been winning the turnover battle, but I'd like to make that a little bit more clean cut going into it. I think field position, again, is going to be huge. Their stadium, from what I understand, it's going to be my first time there, but there's 2 open ends, so the wind could be a factor. So field position is going to be big, being able to punt well and be able to take advantage of things like that. And I think starting out well early is going to be important for us as well.
Finally, I know you don't like to single guys out, but in terms of Miles, his leadership on the field, obviously it's well documented what he's been able to do off the field to help the team this year, but having him back on the field these past couple weeks, how do you think that's helped the offense?
Well, I just see his leadership in general step up. It's one thing if to be a leader and be a captain, but you're in the training room. It's another thing to be in the locker room, to be out at practice, to be sweating. to be fighting, to be bleeding with your buddies, and you have such a bigger impact. And that's kind of who he is. So to be able to have a bigger role is huge for us.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you, and happy birthday, man.
Thank you.